Hi, welcome to another video. So as you can see, I'm taking full advantage of the fact that I got my makeup done today because we're having a photo shoot actually in about 20 minutes. I'm waiting for the photographer to get here. I have the spa set up. Okay, so this video is going to be all about what I've learned in the past really 3 years, or really since the start of starting my massage business. As you all know, I started back in 2018, had a very short run. Felt very frustrated because it felt like I wasn't getting a lot of traction in my business. So I went to go work for other people for the following 2 years, and then things didn't really start to take off until 2020 when I restarted my business, really out of necessity because of the pandemic. If you want to see the full video of me explaining that story of how I really got started with my massage business, I'll link it right here. I just want to offer some words of encouragement and just have some real talk. Like, I'm not really gonna edit this video, I'm just gonna speak off the top of my head of things that really might be helpful for you all. I think number one is your environment. I think there's no way I could have made any traction in my business or stayed focused if I hadn't changed my environment. When I restarted in 2020, I left a lot of toxic situations, a lot of toxic friends, just situations that did not serve me. I had to change a lot of my habits. Sorry, there's like, probably hear the sirens. We're by the hospital. I went from going out, drinking a lot, like really not knowing what I was doing with my life, to really having to cut that out. I went and moved in with my mom. We lived out in the country, like literally like chickens and roosters and like random stray dogs walking around. So I feel like the universe placed me there so that I wouldn't have any distractions and I can really focus on what was healthy for me. So I really had to get in a healthier environment, which helped me get in a healthier state of mind, which helped me have just healthier habits all around. And that helped me focus, because when you don't have healthy habits, it can cause a lot of brain fog. It can cause you to feel very confused. It can cause your hormones to be out of whack, and it just makes you feel like you don't know what you're doing. You can feel just confused and directionless, and you don't know where to start. So that was number one. And so once I had more of a clear focus, I was able to start attracting people that would help me on my path. So one part of my story that I think is very, very important is when I was building my business, I was also building my business with other business owners. So for example, when I was building my business, I would drive into town and I would meet with another friend of mine who actually went to massage school with me, and we would build our websites. We would create our marketing material together. We created our logos together. We also had another friend who was building her spa. She lived in a different state, but we all stayed connected. It was almost like, I don't want to say we had a mastermind because it wasn't that formal, but we did have a support system, and we had a system where we would hold each other accountable. Like, hey girl, are you gonna meet me at the coffee shop today? Like, let's get this done, because we really wanted to be our own bosses. We didn't want to depend on working for anyone else. And that's where my mind was, because while I was, trying to build my business, I also had to get a desk job because of the pandemic, and y'all already know how that goes. And just working at that desk job just made me realize how much I crave time freedom, how much I crave being able to be in charge of when I'm working, what is my schedule, what are the days I'm taking appointments, who are the clients I'm working with. So that became a really big thing for me. That became a very big value for me. And so naturally, everything else I did from there helped me align with that value of, I need to work for myself. I need to make my own hours. I need to call the shots. I need to say who I want to work with, who I don't want to work with, how much I want to pay myself, how much I should charge for each service. I have to make those decisions. No one else can make those decisions for me anymore. I think another thing that helped was being around that support system, being in a better environment. I also had to do some reprogramming. And I know a lot of y'all don't want to talk about, let me scratch that. A lot of y'all do want to talk about like the mindset part of owning a business. It's very important. It's something that you can't skip. I had to reprogram my mind. I went from thinking, wow, I'll never have like $5,000 in my bank account, to I have to have it in my bank account. I have to have at least 5 bands in my bank account at all times, to then thinking, okay, I always have to have 10 bands in my bank account, $10,000 in my bank account, so on and so forth. Like, I had to reprogram my mind little by little. I had to even reprogram beliefs about myself. Beliefs like, I don't look like a business owner, so who's gonna take me seriously as an owner of a business? Or I've never been good at time management. What would make me good at time management now? Or I've always procrastinated, so I'm just a procrastinator. I had to change a lot of those thoughts about myself. I had to change those thoughts to, I am always working on what matters to me most. Y'all see me doing this because I'm like trying to hold the door open because there's just light coming through. But what I'm trying to say is I had to intentionally change my mindset. I had to stop saying certain things about myself. I had to stop thinking about what other people are thinking about me and internalizing that as the thoughts of myself. Like thinking, oh, other people see me as like shy, or maybe it's harder for me to connect, to thinking I always connect with people. I always make connections. Connections easily come to me. And to be honest with you all, I had to kind of fake it till I made it. In terms of my demeanor, in terms of my beliefs about myself, I had to start saying and writing affirmations that I didn't really fully believe until I did believe it. And I think doing that type of work, that reprogramming work, has literally changed like who I am. Like who I am today. Like even being able to like be in front of a camera, talk to the internet and put it all out there and share my story, I never thought I would ever do that. Do y'all know that it took me 4 years to even start a YouTube channel? I thought about making a YouTube channel years before I actually uploaded my first video, because I had a belief about myself that made me think, who would want to hear what I have to say? Or just feeling self-conscious about certain things, when really I have value that I can share with you all, and it's helped so many people. We have a community of massage therapists who are building their businesses. I've been able to help other people start their businesses, pay themselves, go full time in their business, and that feels amazing because I know what it's like to kind of feel like you can't but want to expand. You just need someone to believe in you and someone to like show you how. So the photographer is here, so we'll continue that conversation. I can easily do that, yes.
I will scoot it over just a little bit. Okay, no problem. Come over a little bit more. Right in. Perfect. There we go. 32. Beautiful. 1 second. For some reason, that didn't flash as fast as that.
Okay, so I'm back. We just finished the photo shoot. That was over 4 hours of filming. I think we're good for content literally for another year. I'm so ecstatic with that experience. So obviously I changed my outfit. I think I still have my holster on, but I do want to continue this video and just share with you just things to think about when you're building your business. I do want to offer like words of encouragement, share with you some of the mistakes that I've made. One of the things that I just spoke about was having to reprogram my mind. So I would really recommend like figuring out a program for yourself where you can start to reprogram your mind. That could be as simple as you are only journaling as if you've accomplished your goals. Like, what do those journal entries look like? It could be things like saying affirmations, or at least listening to affirmations. I listen to affirmations every single morning. I say affirmations every single morning before my feet touch the ground. I say gratitude before my feet touch the ground every single morning. I think that has helped reprogram my mind and just change the beliefs that I have. You could even start as small as writing all the beliefs that you have about yourself, about the goals that you want to accomplish. Do you secretly, like in the back of your mind, have a belief that even if you start your business, it's gonna fail? If that's true, write it down, and then you could go back and write a new belief that you can choose to adopt about that. So I would recommend just creating a program for yourself in terms of that, reprogramming yourself to be successful. And success doesn't have to look like starting a business. Success could look like you going to the spa that you work at and not feeling burnt out or feeling fulfilled in your job, because you're still important. Like, you don't have to be a business owner to be successful. But those of you who have that aspiration, it's totally possible to make it happen. You just have to reprogram your mind to already being the person who accomplishes that goal. I'm like super big on this, and I will always talk about it. And that's why I want to make these videos sharing more about that, because I think it's just so important. Other things to look out for, I would say really think about who your friends are, who's around you, who's constantly in your ear. If you have people in your ear who always have some rebuttal, every time you say that you're about to go for something and they have some type of rebuttal, like making you, like putting doubt in your mind, like don't even share your goals with those people. Like why even allow outside sources to put doubt in your mind when you are working towards something? This could be anything. Again, it doesn't have to be starting a business. It could just be wanting to be successful in your career as a massage therapist, as an esthetician. It could be any of those things. Those are all valid goals to have. But make sure that you don't have people in your ear who are doubtful. Like for me, and I never really talked about like what it was like growing up exactly. And I think that is a part of myself that I may keep to myself for a while. But I will say my parents didn't even know what I was doing in terms of building my business until after I was well past my first couple of milestones. Like, and even to this day, I don't think they fully understand what it is I do for a living. And I'm okay with that because they just come from a different generation and a different frame of mind. And this is the first time we're seeing like entrepreneurship coming to the forefront and being normalized, like being normal to go after your dream, to decide that you want to pay yourself, to take control of your career and your profession. Like this is really the first time we're seeing this, at least in the mainstream. Now that we have social media, we have YouTube, we get to see the behind the scenes of people who are really making this happen. So there are still people to this day don't understand what I do for a living, don't understand how it is that I get to stay home with my son if I want to, or travel if I want to, and you know, still make a good living for myself. Like they don't understand, and that's okay. Like I am not interested in sharing my goals with people who could possibly, even unintentionally, put doubt in my ear. Like I just don't want to do that, and I don't want you to put yourself in that position either. So that's super important. So who is around you? So I've talked a lot about environment. I talked about the environment that's right here, so that's in your mind. I talked about who are your, you know, real supporters. Do you have that support system? We do have a community on Facebook. We call it the Massage Business Masterminds, but we're just a community of massage therapists, spa professionals who want to connect and want to learn more from each other. So if you're interested in that, definitely join that. I'll put the link to it below, and I look forward to, you know, seeing you introduce yourself. Other things to look out for. I personally believe that you should have the drive to try to make it happen yourself, like even with your own money. And I just had a conversation with a young lady earlier about this. Like she asked me, she wanted to learn more about how I started my business, and she asked me, did you start with any grants or like loans, or did you put up your own money? Because she said that she heard that, you know, putting up your own personal capital is not always the best decision. I told her the same thing I told y'all. I started with $500 and was very wise about that money and was very wise about reinvesting it. And it wasn't until I started like working with larger numbers where I kind of fell off a little bit in terms of managing the money. I'm not gonna lie, like I definitely fell into the trap of being a business owner and thinking I need all the tools in the world to run my business and all the people in the world to run my business, and then, you know, spending more than I necessarily should. Luckily, I was able to catch myself in that habit earlier this year, but I personally think it is okay to start with your own money, even if you're working part-time somewhere, like putting your part-time income into your business and trying to reinvest that money wisely so that you can grow it. I started with my massage table out of massage school. That massage table was like 60 pounds. It was like a wooden Craftsman table, and I had my car. I had just bought my car off Facebook Marketplace and I have myself, and I bought some sheets from Dollar General, and I got myself a track bone, and I really didn't spend that much money. And I remember I did pay an accountant for an hour of his time to just show me the ropes in terms of, you know, my accountant stuff. So that was a great stepping stone. And you know, as soon as I learned that I should price myself more, and I have plenty of videos about pricing, about, you know, the different fundamentals of owning your business. I have a whole playlist on that you can watch and binge and learn more about that. But I just was so adamant about, I have to reinvest this money. I can't let it go. Even when, like, we got the stimulus, I remember taking some of that and putting it into my business. Like, of course, I'm gonna take that opportunity. Like, and I think a lot of business owners did that. Like, a lot of business owners used their stimulus to really make something of themselves or to really put themselves in a better position. And that leads me to my next point. I know this feels like a big old rant. Y'all can let me know if you like the rant styled video. I'm just speaking from the heart. The next tip that I have for you is to think long term. So don't see yourself like how you think other people see you and project that by thinking you're just a small business owner, or you're just a sole proprietor, or you're just a solo massage therapist. You are more than that. Honestly, I want you to start thinking of yourself as like this corporate owner. Like, start thinking of yourself, you're in the same caliber as, like, I don't know, Steve Jobs and the creator of Amazon, whose name just escaped me, Jeff Bezos. Like, not saying that you are, but just saying, like, think long term. People like that think long term. So don't just think, you know, what are you gonna do right now this month in your business? Think about what are you doing right now in your business that makes sense for the next 12 months or the next 2 years or the next 3 years. Like, what do you want to do with your business in the next 3 years or 5 years? Like, that also leads me to talking about, why do you even have your business? Is your business like just a vehicle to pay yourself and have you live the lifestyle that you want to live? Is it something that you hope to sell one day? Is it just something that you created to help people and that's it? Like, really ask yourself these questions, because that will help you determine what you're gonna be doing in the long term. And lastly, because I know this video has gotten pretty long, I will say what I recommend for you, because I know I'm losing light right now. It's getting darker and darker as I talk. My next thing is to tell you to start getting in rooms with people. Start getting in rooms with people who know more than you. Start getting in rooms with people who ask really good questions. And start getting in rooms with people who invest in themselves and invest in their businesses. I've invested a lot in my professional development, whether that's from continuing education courses or learning how to be a better business owner, learning how to be a better coach, learning how to be a better support to my clients, a better support to my students. Like, even things as small as how I use certain software, or like, training is really important. Professional development is really important for me. That's why any of my team members, like, that's something that they're gonna know. Like, one of my values is professional development. Like, how do we grow as professionals? And also, how do we grow, like, personally? What is your personal development goals? Like, how do you develop personally as a human being, as an individual? And that's just so important to me. So I'm always gonna invest in stuff like that. To me, like, I always make that investment back, whether that's like my leadership style, like how I'm growing as a person, how I show up in the world, like how I present myself. Like, all those things are so important, and I'm only realizing that because I'm putting myself in rooms with people who already know that, who like are 5 steps ahead of me. So it's important to find the people that you want to follow, find the people you want to learn from. You don't have to be exactly like them. You don't even have to be in close proximity from them. Like, just be inspired by them, and if you can learn from them, do it. If they have opportunities for you to learn, of course, do your due diligence and don't just trust anybody. But, you know, if you do have a good feeling about someone who is 10 steps ahead or 5 steps ahead, really invest in whatever solution that they have if you believe in that solution. That would be my recommendation. I still get coaching. I still try to find like little masterminds, and even with my friends, the friends that I mentioned before, we built our businesses together, I still huddle with them and ask them, you know, what's working for you this quarter? What's working for you this year? Like, what have your clients been like? Like, I like asking those questions, and it just helps us grow. And even in my own community, one of my goals for next year is to create a club of Black women who are growing professionally, who are entrepreneurs, and have us meet on a monthly basis so we can talk about what's working for us. Some of us are in the online space, some of us are service providers, some of us are, you know, maybe product owners, product creators, content creators, and I want to learn from those people. Like, I want to be around the people who are 10 steps ahead, and that's something I would recommend to you all. Like, don't expect to see a whole lot of traction if you're not investing in yourself, and that could just be books. I'm not saying go like purchase some expensive class, you know, none of that. I'm just saying, like, read a book. I'm just saying, like, do some personal development and learn about the things that you are passionate about. All right, this has been a whole rant, but I just wanted to share some things that have helped me along my journey. I know it's not super specific. I'd like to make a more specific video, but yeah, I think we should do more of these real talks. I think I like standing in the doorway of the spa and like just talking to you all and hoping that I'm speaking to someone who needs to hear it and hoping that it's helpful. And I know the message will reach the right people. But I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. And anyways, if you made it to the end of this video, I love that. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And please comment below and let me know, was this helpful for you? Do you want to see more just raw, unedited, barely edited videos of me just sharing things that have helped me, things that have helped me along my journey, giving you tips like this? Please let me know. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.